Oh, not easy. Okay. Boop, boop, boop. What's up, everybody? Today we're in my kitchen and I wanted to show you one of my favorite go-to recipes for carbs. It's roasted potatoes. It tastes really good without having to add any extra calories to it, and best of all, it's really simple to make. So I wanted to show you how I do it, and let's get started. So what you'll need obviously are potatoes, extra virgin olive oil, seasonings of your choice, salt, pepper, sharp knife, tablespoon, half cup measurement, and a food scale. So the first thing I did was weigh out my potatoes. I was going for 2 pounds and 4 ounces. I think I got 2 pounds 5 ounces, and this should give about 6 to 8 4-ounce servings, depending on how much water evaporates while they cook. Then of course, I'm gonna wash all the dirt off the potatoes, get them nice and clean so they don't taste like soil. And then make sure that you dry them off so they're not slippery when you're trying to cut them. Before we start cutting up the potatoes, go ahead and preheat the oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. Grab your knife, make sure it's nice and sharp, and let's start cutting. One of the things that makes this recipe so easy is you don't have to be super precise with the cuts. I usually try cutting them in about 3/4 by 3/4 inch chunks, and I'll show you what that looks like after I finish cutting. Although you don't have to be super precise, you do want to make sure the chunks are all about the same size. This will help the potatoes cook evenly. As always, be careful when you're using the knife. You notice I cut the potato in half so I have a flat surface to work with. And then I hold one side with my fingers pointing in, kind of like a claw. And that'll help reduce the risk of cutting your fingers. So you can see they're all cut up to about the same size. Now it's time to make them taste good. So I added half a tablespoon of black pepper, half a tablespoon of salt, and then for the main seasoning, I just used Italian seasoning, put a couple tablespoons in, but if you use a different seasoning or spice, the amount might vary based on what you like. From there, I put in half a cup of extra virgin olive oil, and this is what's going to help those seasonings stick to the potatoes, give them a nice golden color, and a crispy outside when they're all cooked. After that, mix it up. Don't be afraid to use your hands, it's okay. Or you can attempt to toss them, as I failed to do here. Next, go ahead and get your pan and line it with some parchment paper, and that, along with the olive oil, will help keep the potatoes from sticking to anything. Make sure you spread them out, giving a little bit of space in between so that the air circulates around them and cooks them evenly. Then once you've done that, it's off to the oven. Make sure your oven rack is mid-level and place them in the center. Now the cook time could vary from oven to oven, but it should be between 30 and 40 minutes. If you're using a convection oven, it could cut the time in half. But the secret is after about 15 minutes, you want to pull them out, take a spatula, and turn them over. This is going to help them cook evenly and not get too done on one side. You can skip this step if you like, but this greatly reduces the chances of burning one side of the potatoes. I also use this time to take a fork and test the potatoes. Not that I expected them to be done already, but I was just checking to see how quickly they were cooking. As you can see, they're still pretty stiff, but I guess they were about halfway done at this point. That means they probably have another 15 minutes to go. But just to be sure, I started keeping a close eye on them after another 10 minutes. Once they looked done, I used the fork to test them again, and they slid in with just a little bit of resistance, but still seem soft in the middle, which means they're done. So now it came time to portion them out. For those of you who have a busy schedule, portioning out your food ahead of time can be really helpful. Now out of this batch, I got a little less than I was anticipating, but I still got 6 4-ounce serving sizes, which isn't bad. If you're having these in one of your meals each day, it'll last you a whole week. One thing to keep in mind though is how many carbs you should be having on a daily basis. This will change the serving size based on your daily nutritional requirements. For example, in order for me personally to get the amount of carbs I needed in one meal, I had to measure out 6-ounce serving sizes. This only gave me 4 servings. If you're unsure of your daily nutritional requirements, check with a certified nutritionist or registered dietitian to find out how much carb, protein, fat, and calories you should be having on a daily basis to reach your health and fitness goals. Well, there you have it, a recipe for crispy, delicious, and healthy roasted potatoes. I hope this video was helpful, and if you decide to try it, let me know how it went, or if you have any questions in the comments below. Here is the macronutrient breakdown for this recipe. This is my first recipe video, so I'm still learning how to film and edit these. So if you have any suggestions or anything you'd like to see in future videos, let me know. Also, for more information on carbs, check the link to my macronutrient video below. Until next time, thanks for watching. Any extra calories to it, and best of all, it's pretty easy and most importantly, it's pretty simple. It's really easy to make, and because I'm not doing it again.